The good kind of pressure. Not all peer pressure is bad. In fact, much of it can be very good. If you can find a friend who puts positive pressure on you to be your best, then hang on to him or her, because you've got something very special, someone who's got your back. If you find yourself wanting to stand up, but instead you're continually caving into peer pressure, here are two things you can do. First, build your PBA, your personal bank account. If your self-confidence and self-respect are low, how can you expect to have the strength to resist? What can you do? You can begin today to build your PBA little by little. Make a promise to event to yourself and keep it. Help someone in need. Develop a talent. Renew yourself. Eventually, you'll have sufficient strength to forge your own path instead of following the beaten ones. You may want to review the chapter on the personal bank account. Second, write your mission statement and set goals. If you haven't decided what your values are, how can you expect to stick up for them? It will be a whole lot easier to say no if you know what goals you're saying yes to. For example, it's easier to say no to cutting class when you're saying yes to your goal of getting good grades and making it to college. You may want to review the chapter on habit 2, begin with the end in mind. The common ingredient of success. In the final analysis, putting first things first takes discipline. It takes discipline to manage your time. It takes discipline to overcome your fears. It takes discipline to be strong in the hard moments and resist peer pressure. A man by the name of Albert E. Gray spent years studying successful people in an attempt to figure out that special ingredient that made them all successful. What do you think he found? Well, it wasn't dressing for success, or eating Greek yogurt, or having a positive mental attitude. Instead, this is what he found. Read it carefully. Albert E. Gray's common denominator for success. All successful people have the habit of doing the things failures don't like to do. They don't like doing them either necessarily, but their disliking is subordinated to the strength of their purpose. What does this mean? It means that successful people are willing to suck it up from time to time and do things they don't like doing. Why do they do them? Because they know these things will lead them to their goals. In other words, sometimes you just got to exercise your special human tool called willpower to get things done, whether you feel like it or not. Do you think a concert pianist always enjoys hours of practice each day? Does a person who's committed to earning her own way through college enjoy taking on a second job? I remember reading a story about an all-American collegiate wrestler who was asked what the most memorable day of his career had been. He replied it was the one day during his career when practice had been canceled. He hated practice, but was willing to endure it for a greater purpose, his love of being the best he could be. A final word. We've surveyed thousands of people on the 7 habits, and guess which habit is the hardest one to live? You guessed it, it's habit 3. So don't get discouraged if you struggle with it. You've got company. If you don't know where to start with habit 3, go to the baby steps. That's what they are there for, to help you get started. Your teen years can be some of the most exciting and adventurous years of life, so value each moment, as this poem so beautifully communicates. To realize the value of 1 year, a student who failed his or her AP exam to realize the value of 1 month. Ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby to realize the value of 1 week. Ask an editor of a weekly magazine to realize the value of 1 day. Ask a daily wage laborer who has 6 kids to feed to realize the value of 1 hour. Ask the lovers who are waiting to meet to realize the value of 1 minute. Ask a person who missed their train to realize the value of 1 second. Ask the person who survived an accident to realize the value of 1 millisecond. Ask the person who won a silver star in the Olympics. Coming attractions and the baby steps. 1. Do a search and get a planner app on your tablet or smartphone and use it to get more organized. Try it for 30 days before judging it. 2. Identify your biggest time wasters. Do you really need to spend 2 hours checking out other people's Instagrams or playing video games? What are your biggest time wasters? 3. Are you a pleaser, someone who says yes to everything and everyone? If so, have the courage to say no today when it's the right thing to do. 4. If you have an important test in 1 week, don't procrastinate and wait until the day before to study. Suck it up. Study a little every day. 5. Think of something you've procrastinated for a long time that's very important to you. Block out time this week to get it done. What have you procrastinated for? 6. Note your 7 most important big rocks for the upcoming week. Now block out time on your calendar to accomplish each one. 7. Identify a fear that's holding you back from reaching your goals. It could be a fear of a person, fear of emotions, fear of getting hurt. Decide right now to jump outside your comfort zone and stop letting that fear get the best of you. 8. How much impact does peer pressure have on you? Identify the person or people who have the most influence upon you. Ask yourself, am I doing what I want to do or what they want me to do?